This is the Andrew interview. Hello, welcome to the Better Every Time podcast about redemption, brotherhood, and real strength through hard work. We'll deep dive into that in a bit. I'm excited. I'm hyped. Today's episode is special and personal. This isn't just any guest to me. This is my best friend, my gym bro right here. Someone who I've shed blood, sweat, and tears with. And I've watched him crawl out of the depths where most guys don't survive out of these places. And from being diagnosed as bipolar to serving time to becoming a powerlifter elite level and regaining his old life and improving it. Today I have Andrew Sanchez. He's a true man's man, an accomplished elite powerlifter, an amazing father and husband with truly rough hands, and a warrior's heart, and a story you need to hear. Andrew, let's talk about second chances, true strength, what it means to be a man.
3, 4, 5 chances.
Well, as many as it takes, right?
Yeah.
Talk about it, man.
I mean, where do you want to start?
Start at the beginning.
Start at the beginning.
Who were you before all of this?
I was up in the high desert powerlifting for like 10 years.
Yeah.
I started losing my love for it once there's no return money-wise in powerlifting unless you're like John Hack or like Jesus Oliveira, the top guys. So I was kind of like losing my love for it. I mean, it's something I was very passionate about, but the older I get, the weaker I'm getting. So I found arm wrestling.
Which is not true, by the way.
It's true.
Yes.
So I found arm wrestling, and that's just propelled me into everything. And then I didn't actually know I was bipolar until I got diagnosed by a psychiatrist when I was in a bad place, right? And went through the nasty breakup. Being bipolar and going through like an emotional wreck and not being able to have the knowledge to combat it was rough. So like all my outbursts and stuff, I didn't understand why I would always feel like this, or like I would feel like people are against me or people hate me just for meeting me, and I'm not sure how I got a grip on that. It mainly took time, and just, I mean, when I met you is kind of when I was like in the heat of like everything, right? Just started spiraling. And then
so would you say, what was the point where you were like, I have to change this, I have to do something, I have to do better? What was that clicking moment?
For me, it was like, why am I gonna be hurting myself and keeping myself down? I mean, a breakup is one thing, but to let it completely destroy you,
right?
You're like, why are you doing that to yourself? The other person that you were in love with is off doing their own thing, living their life, playing you. Like, why would you let them have that power over you? And so now, whenever I get negative thoughts or something, it takes over for like a few hours or something when I'm at work, and then I just have to learn how to overcome it, and I usually do. I'm a lot better with it now. So it's all about knowing how to combat something. You can't fight fire with fire.
Right.
You have to know how to control your emotions. You have to know when the limit is of when you let somebody have that much power over you. And I refuse to ever let somebody destroy me how I was before. Yeah. And I mean, you saw how bad I was, dude. Like,
yeah, I was there.
How would I be when I went into the gym?
Yeah, that was well, sad boy times, right? But
yeah.
What do you think? What was it? Did you start believing in yourself?
I wasn't happy,
yeah.
And until I found God and tried to look at myself within and like, why don't I love myself? That was the biggest thing. And even though like you could be talented and have all these special gifts, but if you don't believe in yourself and you don't have those people in your corner, it's rough, And because I was always that lone wolf person before I met you, hoodie on, big old sweat, working out, doing my thing, hiding away from the world because I hated myself. But loving yourself is the biggest thing. That's first and foremost. Because if you don't love yourself, you're never going to want to improve. You're never going to want to change or work on the things that are hard that a lot of guys don't want to work on, like emotions and even physicality. There's a lot of guys that just they won't work on their body health. You know, working out. You don't have to be a crazy savage in the gym, but
Right.
like care about your body the same way that you would for somebody that you love. You know, if they're
Right.
walking with a cane, and if you can pick them up on that side and help them walk, like why wouldn't you? You know, it's the
Yeah.
same thing with your mind, same thing with your body. Help love yourself, help yourself.
I
You're
feel like a big thing in it too is people don't really invest in themselves. I think the gym is a huge investment in yourself, right? You're paying a monthly membership, you're buying wrist wraps, you're buying a belt, you're buying supplements to kind of lock in a little bit, right? You're buying your proteins and stuff. So, how important do you think that is?
I mean, nutrition at the end of the day is going to be the biggest thing with working out, and mindset and gut health, which affects your brain a lot too.
Oh yeah.
And so my lady, she's always like, your gut health, your gut health, your gut health. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
Here
But
we go again.
she's right, because if you eat like crappy and then you try to eat good,
Yeah.
you notice the difference when you start eating good.
Oh yeah. So what was the biggest lesson you'd say you'd learned from strength?
Like physical strength or mental strength.
Why not both? Did one create the other?
I think when I broke my leg, I was determined to never feel like I was less. Like to break your leg how I broke it and almost lose my leg, and to come back and squat 610 and
Yeah.
deadlift 675 and
I gotta put a clip of that on.
yeah.
Yeah.
And like it's a hindrance still. Obviously, I'm in pain every day, whatnot, but it's
You
all
can't you
up.
can't see it.
Yeah, it's all
Yeah.
up here though.
Yeah. Of course.
It's all up here. I mean, are you gonna let something stop you from being the best you?
Yeah. Now, obviously, we've both gone down, right? But
Yeah.
deep dive into that. How did you go down? What was it like?
So I was pulling up to a stoplight, and a older gentleman that was driving,
Yeah.
like in his late 90s, smashed into me in like a 96 Camry, and I like rolled over the top of the hood of the car, and I remember blacking out on impact, and just it's almost like a roller coaster if you close your eyes and you just feel powerless, right? Like you're not in control, so your body's just flying and skidding across. I was wearing gear still, thankfully,
Right.
and that saved me from road rash, but it did not save the leg break because I wasn't even wearing riding boots at the time. I think I was 19, 20 when it happened.
Yeah.
And that was, I mean, it's rough, but I immediately got back on as soon as I got back from the hospital on my other motorcycle. And fun fact, my brother actually crashed my motorcycle. So I was riding his when that happened. He lied to me. He's like, oh, a car cut me off or something. And then my other friend had a video, and he's like, oh, your brother was doing a wheelie and he ate it. So I was like, oh, that's great.
Yeah, these things are fun. It's important to respect it,
Yeah.
respect them. Obviously, mine is a little bit, in construction. We'll work on it.
Yeah.
We're
I
about,
mean,
thinking about putting this up like as a series as well. So we kind of work on it, work
yeah,
on
that'd be
bikes and stuff.
dope. I think the biggest thing is knowing the risk and understanding what you're riding is going to be a huge part of how you ride,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. You can't always full pin it. Yeah.
now I actually haven't even topped this out.
That's
I've
good,
only
man.
gone like around one, something like that.
Oh, just
In Mexico.
in Mexico,
In
allegedly.
Mexico. Allegedly.
AI generated.
Yeah. But there's just no point. Like I have kids. I want to be here for them, you know? I don't want to, oh, your dad splatted himself. And so,
Meat crayon, right?
yeah, no, I'm
Oof.
good.
What kind of man would you want to be to them?
Yeah.
What did you ever think of that?
I mean, for me, the thing was always, I want to give my best self to my kids because not only do they deserve it, but they don't deserve anything less than the best, because they're gonna turn into adults eventually, and whatever I do now is gonna affect them later.
Yeah.
You know, so I refuse to lay down and let life beat me up because my kids are watching. That's a big part of it too. And my son, he's so little, but he's so big at the same time, and he's
Yeah.
a little sweetheart, and he's kind, loving, gentle, and that's the kind of man I want to raise. Somebody that's gonna help other men. I want people to look at me and my son and just be like, this dude is genuine. And I mean, I'm always straight up and real with everything that I can be. I don't
Honestly,
sugarcoat anything. I always take accountability for my mistakes, and I just want my kids to do the same because life's a lot cleaner, simpler when you're genuine and you're real and you show people that and they could see it.
yeah. No, and that takes miles of work. That takes a ton of work. But what would you say to that guy that's in his room right now and he's feeling it? I've been there. I'm sure you've been there, where that guy is just feeling hopeless, nothing to it. What would you say
At,
to that
at
guy?
the end of the day,
What would you say
no
to get
one
him
is
out of the
going
chair?
to save you.
No one's
No
coming to
one
save
is
you.
going to save you. You have to change. You have to want the change. If you're sitting there with your hand in your pants all day, not doing
Well,
anything, going through the motions, you don't have any ambition. We talked about this earlier.
yeah,
It's all about ambition, drive, and the want.
yeah,
If the only person that's hurting you is you. You're keeping yourself down by being like that.
of
And
course.
to each their own. Some people are okay with that, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're feeling like hopeless, alone, don't. It takes that extra step of reaching out or talking to somebody at the gym, like how we met. And
Wild story.
it's
Wild story.
not that wild. It's okay.
It's pretty wild.
I was curling 70s. I'm an
No
arm
big
wrestler.
deal.
Yeah. And I wasn't swinging or nothing. I was just curling.
Strict curling, like wah wah wah. I
Yeah.
was like, yo, this robot over here.
I just, I'm a man of class.
That's,
Form is everything.
yeah, it
But
defines the man.
yeah, but if you would have never done that, then we would have never met.
Of course, I think it also took the pain of staying average and staying how you are. I think that pain outgrew the pain of not doing anything.
Not only that, I was homeless when I met you. I
Yeah,
was I was in the gym. I was sleeping in my car. Like I was doing the most, right?
yeah,
And I didn't understand why I was in that position until I started taking accountability for my actions and seeing like it's not okay to hurt people. It's not okay to always be in this state of aggression and sadness. Like you're only hurting yourself. I could say this all day. And what benefit is that going to do for yourself, your family, your loved ones?
right,
Nothing.
yeah.
I don't want to be known as that sad, gloomy boy. That's oh man,
I'm a man now.
man. But
Yeah,
it's true.
yeah. Even I grew in that moment where I
Yeah.
was like, I could go up to this guy and learn how to not swing 70s, right, and start doing that. And I'm up to 50s, 60s now. But I would never train biceps, so it was a transition. So that's why I was like, I could either stay the same and never get close to you, or I could get out of my comfort zone and go talk to him and be like, "Hey, what's up?" And eventually that grew into this, and now we're here.
Well, that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying too about the extra steps because being a lone wolf is cool and it has its pleasure
got its
and
moments.
solidarity.
Yeah,
But
got its moments.
everybody who's been successful has people in their corners. Like people could be like, "Oh, I did this by myself." That's great. Some people can do it, but I always think of it like this. Imagine you're a fighter or you're a bodybuilder or anything, a sport, whatever it is. You will always go farther in life by having great people in your corner and always doing justice by them and not letting them down and not letting yourself down. So, I mean, feeling sorry for yourself, sitting in your room and not doing anything, having a sedentary lifestyle, like I said, to each their own, but it's not me and that's not who I want to be. If I can add something to somebody's life and I don't have to go out of my way for it, or even if I do have to go out of my way for it, I'm still going to do it. I want to help people. I want to show them that you can come back from anything.
Yeah, yeah, and I think that's something that my dad taught me, right? Like my dad always told me, go and find things at work. He was like, find things that they need fixing, they need improving, and just do better.
Yeah.
Leave it better. Leave it better every time. That's what it's always meant to me, and I've taken that outside of work, outside of machines, and I've applied that to myself. And I've gone and I've said, how can I make things better at work? How can I make things better mechanically? How can I do things better for myself? What does better every time mean to you?
I mean, when we work out, we go in there and we put 1,000%. There is no option of failure because if you try at something, then you're not a failure because at least you tried,
Yeah.
you know? And it could take you 50 times till you bench 315, but you still did it.
Hit it today.
Yeah, I failed. I have a torn pec. I hit
Turn pectoral.
295 and I failed 315. I've been out of the gym for like a month and I weighed myself. I was like 197 pounds. I was so sad. I haven't failed on bench besides when I tore my pec doing 405. But it's
We
like,
won't show that clip.
yeah,
We won't show
but it's the fact
that.
that I went and still attempted,
Right.
you
Yeah.
know, and I know
Trying is
I
half
could
the
hit it
battle.
at the end. I've hit it a billion times. I failed one time. It's not gonna break my heart, you know, a little bit.
It broke something else.
Broke my ego, but
Yeah.
I mean,
I saw this quote once that was defeat is psychological. It's only until death.
when
That's
I'm
true defeat.
when I'm at work, I'm working inside trailers, offloading them and stuff. When I'm at work, there's like 10 hooks in the 40 footers,
Okay.
right? And so I know if I'm on my fifth hook, I'm halfway.
Okay.
And then it's so disheartening when you're tired, you don't have the energy, because I'm doing this by hand. So it's disheartening when you can't see the edge, the finale, the end,
Right.
right? So as soon as I see the back of the trailer, you start lighting up and you're like, oh my God, finally.
About to make it.
Oh, brother. But when you do, it makes you happy. You feel accomplished because it's like, I didn't stop because I don't want to do that. I don't, but I get it done and it just feels great. Like I love standing by my work. I like making my bosses happy. I like making myself happy.
Right.
They know like when I'm at work, it's gonna get done correctly, fast, and good. So, I mean, that's really my thing with not letting yourself get defeated because you can be defeated, but if you stay defeated, that's on you.
Yeah. It's all about work ethic. End of the day, the guy that tries harder does better. You know.
Yeah, that saying, if you don't, if talent doesn't work and somebody else works hard, they don't have talent, they'll pass you up.
Yeah.
And eventually it will happen.
He who wants more, more is expected. So
That too.
there's a lot into it. And if this was the only interview you ever gave, what would you want to leave behind for the people, for the guy that's there?
To know that I was in the darkest part of my life so far, hopefully the last, and I overcame it so they can too. I mean, my mom, um, after that was a big part of my spiral. I lost myself for a long time. I didn't have my dad, he left us. And after losing my mom, I didn't really have my brother so much either. I was taking care of her, and she was a major alcoholic. I mean, bad. And it was rough. Like, I had to see my mom with black eyes, broken teeth from just getting beat up randomly on the streets because she was drinking and wasting her money. And it hurt a lot to see my mom like that.
Of course.
And I saved her life like 3 times because she would get like withdrawals.
Yeah.
And she would go into like a seizure state and her eyes would go black.
Dang.
And like I would catch her and I would have to call 911, and I was trying to keep her from like choking on herself. And I was 18 at the time. And
You're just a kid.
to see your mom in that state, I wish that on no one. Not even, I don't have any enemies. I mean, I don't think I do. But
Hopefully.
yeah, I wouldn't wish that on anybody.
Right.
And like I don't have grandparents. I don't have many family members. I have a few that are very loving and close to me. Um, there's like 2 family members, maybe 3. I don't have a close relationship with them because my family was always distant and fighting, alcoholics, that kind of deal, very very violent, and that was kind of how I grew up. So it was normalized to me. But after my mom um, committed, it was I felt like I was alone in the world. the thing that's closest to you, your mother, the person who's supposed to protect you and take care of you, just always beating you up, cussing you out, bringing you down, hitting you with beer bottles, like putting a knife up to you, screaming, like that was rough. And I think that was kind of why it took me so long to become the man I am now. I never had that structure, right? Most No, I can't say most people because everybody's lives are different, but
It
a
was
good majority of people, they grew up mom and dad, happy life, together for everything kind of deal. Yeah, but other people don't get it like that. And my point of all that is you don't have to have the best hand, but you could still win. You just have to know how to play the game. You know how to control your emotions. That's the biggest thing I feel like for men, to control your emotions. And I feel like a lot of, specifically in the Latino culture, it's Mexican macho
yeah.
kind of deal. And
Oh yeah.
like, that's not beneficial.
No.
It's not. Like, there's a healthy part of it, and then a big majority of part of the culture is unhealthy.
It'll get you so far. Yeah.
Yeah.
But only so far.
Yeah. And so, like, my biggest thing would be is you could lose everything and still become something great.
Right.
That's what I would want to leave with people.
Yeah. It's all about structure,
Yeah.
how you treat it.
I mean, like I said, at the end of the day, no one's going to save you. You got to do it yourself.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I'm blessed to have met you, and that was a huge skyrocket into fulfilling myself as the man I am today. But I mean, even if I didn't, it was only a matter of time because I'm not the person to stay down when I
Yeah.
get kicked down. I'll always come back stronger and better.
That's right. That's what we always do.
Oh, yeah.
That's the thing too. I think it's also a matter of you wanted it, you attracted it. You know what I mean? You could have just told me. You could have just looked at me and be like, "I'm God's gift." Sorry, son. You know, like it takes God's gift to be able to do it. You know, but you didn't. You sat down and you were humble about it, and you didn't act like you were just doing people's max incline dumbbell press. You know, you you know you didn't act that way. You acted like a really good guy. You were just like, hey, like I do it this way. I try to use this form. Try to do this. Try to do that. I think that's huge. You shifted off of the macho man of in Latino culture it would have just been like just do it. You know, stop being a little girl or whatever. You know, like that whole machismo there. You didn't have it. You were nice about it. You were like, oh, well, let me get your Instagram. It all snowballed. You wanted to change. You also asked me for different things, what I would do here, what I would do there, and you were intrigued by the change and how to change.
I mean, if you're in a spot where you're not happy, you have to look at your surroundings. What are you allowing into your life? Because what you allow into your life, like you said, what you attract, it's going to happen, right? I mean, um, when I met your friend Ale, who's now my friend, it's like, shout out to Ale.
Ooh, shout out to Alex.
Um, she's one of those people that's like
She'll challenge
always
you.
trying to improve.
She'll challenge you.
Yeah, and she's rough around the edges and it hurts, but then you understand what she's trying to do. And then it's like, well, if I want to be like this person and have people like that in my corner, I need to work on myself. I don't want lazy slouches, which is brief
Well,
intermission.
brief intermission. Got to check on that. All right, that should be synced up now. What a shame.
Now you're gonna have to edit.
What a shame. I have to do a lot of editing.
Yeah.
I'm not good at editing, so this is camera fell down, but we're good now. I mean, it's all about being better every time, right?
Oh, the
Uh,
people in your circle, that
People in your
kind of thing.
circle change you, and Ali's been, proponent of level up, level up your friends, level up your surroundings. How important do you think that is?
I mean, it's everything. That shows the type of person that you are.
Yeah,
Your friends are a reflection of you. If you don't have the best friends around you, that shows the kind of your weaknesses will show very easily. And for me, I don't want anyone who's not going to help me improve as well or help make me be like, I need to get like this person. Like, I don't have to be exactly like them. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about this person loved themselves enough and cared about themselves enough to lose 20 pounds, to get that new car, to get that house finally, or just to be able to be consistent in the gym or be consistent with anything that they're doing.
It's all about strength, but not only mental, physical,
It's
right?
all about
Meaningless.
yeah.
um, yeah, that's the message. That's what we're trying to portray to everybody and kind of speak more about because at the end of the day, no one's really out there saying it in a clean, nice, good, healthy way. Everyone's kind of trying to clickbait. Everyone's trying to either go on the other side of the spectrum or way over here, and
Very extreme in either side. Yeah.
yeah. And I think that gets the clicks, that gets the views. I don't think it's the best.
It just shows your character,
Yeah,
to be honest. And
yeah.
I mean, I'll say it again, to each their own, but not for me.
Not for me, not my taste. We aren't perfect. No one is. You know, we're doing this pod. And we're just trying to be better. I think if we can help someone else be better, and that's not only the goal, but that's the purpose. That's the main thing.
Better every day, baby.
Better every day, better every time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we lift, we work out, we show up one day at a time, and we try to leave it better than how we found it. What do you want the people to remember you for? Ooh,
My squat.
the squats,
My
the
squats.
leg drive,
Um, my redemption arc.
redemption arc.
My redemption arc. People don't understand how much work it took. I was violent, foul mouth. I'm still working on some stuff, but
Of course.
you know, just the kind of person I was, it was so, I was disgusted. And now that I'm where I'm at, I mean, I have a beautiful wife, beautiful babies. I have my bike. I mean, like, come on.
Yeah.
I have car, my lady. I have a place to live. Being homeless is not fun.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and yeah, like I'm happy to have a stable job. I'm happy that I'm consistent in the gym. That I've put the time in to look back and have the kid version of myself be proud.
Healing that inner child, huh?
I don't know if you could ever heal that aspect, but help to understand what led you to get there is the biggest thing. Because if you don't understand how you got there and what mistakes brought you to that point, you will go back.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to go back. I love my life. I love my family. I love myself. I love my best friend. You know,
Right
I
here.
think a lot of people need to be more grateful as well.
Yeah.
And if you're not happy in your life, change it. No one else is going to change it for you.
No one's coming to save you.
No.
Hopefully we can. We can help some of you.
Yeah.
That's the goal. Yeah. We're not alone in the world. We choose to be, and I think
That part.
it's all choices. You know, I can choose to be sad. I can choose not to go up to that strong guy at the gym. I can choose to not get the bike of my dreams. I can choose to. I've chosen to leave it for so long. Sorry, but everything's a choice, and I've seen you go from making the bad choices to making slightly better choices to making the best choices, and I'm proud of you for it. Always said it. I'll say it again. I'm proud of you again for it. See you with your kids, see you around, running around and stuff. Like
I mean, with the energy they have, I have to be
yeah,
at my best.
yeah. Can't let them catch you slipping.
My kids have a boundless amount of energy. I'm talking about I'll take my kids running to the park for like 3, 4 hours, get home and still be full of energy. It's insane. Like, man, that is my bloodline.
Those are your kids.
Yeah.
Well, it's been good having you on. It's a good first podcast. Uh, like I said, this is special to me. He's my best friend, and seeing him grow out of it, come to it, and now, like you said, he has his family now. He has a friend now. He has his bike. He's doing so good, and he's working so hard every single day. And you love to see it. You know, the redemption arc is there. So thanks for being on. Thanks for coming on. Last words.
Let's see what the future holds.
Ooh, see what the future holds. Andrew, it's been a pleasure.
Oh, thanks, buddy. Oh.
Quick little flex. Oh, dude, this wasn't recording.
Imagine.